I realized recently I haven't seen or heard a blue jay this year. And that's kind of shocking because they're always around in the winter. Hear that high-pitched keening call. What's happened to the blue jays? Same thing I guess has happened to 50% of the birds. We went to town this morning to do some errands. I brought Lulu home on my way. Dropped her off. And then when Suki and I got back, she headed straight for the love seat and passed out. The sun is getting warmer. Well, it's been a beautiful day. Got up to 41, and I feel like there's hope. Just like I was talking just a few days ago about being embarrassed for whining, sniveling through the cold, ungodly cold. And that would end, and boy, it's ended soon. This is some highly important, valuable cargo from Amazon. I read yesterday Amazon, maybe not currently, but within the last month or two, Amazon was hiring 1,300 people a day. Are you kidding me? It looks just like me, only different. I have been wearing the same underwear for probably 20 years. No, not what I'm wearing day to day. Come on, you knew what I meant. Yeah, I don't change my underwear, but once every 20 years. I used to buy them at pennies. You know, you become used to one brand and you know that they work and they fit. Well, that's a thing of the past. I don't think there's any brick and mortar pennies stores anymore. I think there's an online presence, but why bother? I don't know if you can see what these are. Upholstery fasteners. The biggest problem with this brand new love seat cover is this. It's shifting all over the place. So I'm going to try some of these. I'm going to have to probably use a lot to secure that thing, but I really need these. Why go looking for them at Office Depot, Office Max, wherever, when you can get them exactly what you want on Amazon and delivered to your home? I don't have to go out and risk COVID. So I'm really curious what's in here. It weighs hardly nothing. Maybe somebody sent me a new camera outfit, huh? Well, I guess the way to find out is to open it. Oh. This wasn't supposed to be back in stock at Amazon until the 27th, which is 5 days from now. I think that's a bit overkill. I had no idea. This container was highly recommended. Cook's Country. The plastic is, whatever it is, it's the higher quality, unbreakable, clear. So I've been keeping it in the flour and just in the bag. The white unbleached flour I'm keeping in a, well, you've seen it, glass canister. But they say you really don't want to keep it in the paper. You want to keep it in something a little more airtight. It doesn't fit. Maybe I should get another one of these in a size down from this for something else. I like this. I want to keep this because I am making bread. It's only bread I will eat now. I'm not going to buy commercial bread because I really like the bread I make and I like making it. It's a win-win, win-win-win. There's another thing that annoys me about shopping at Amazon. You have too many reviews and too many people taking points of view that, you know, in the days of J.C. Penney, I would just walk in, pick up a package of underwear, pay for them, and walk out. No reviews involved. I have my own review. But with something new, a new style, a new brand I've never used before, you get people that criticize the minor things that make no difference. One of which is the fabric texture or feel, the minutia of possible things, and they give it a 3-star, 2-star for any reason they want. And in a way, I would like to just avoid all of these reviews, go in, find what I'm looking for, pay for them, and leave. And then the UPS guy arrives 2 days later with it. I don't know if you've experienced that, but it really is. I've gone in to look for something, read the reviews, and decided against it. Well, you get one person who is having a bad day, is in a bad mood, got bit by the neighbor's dog, say bad things that don't apply to day by day. And when I look at the reviews, when I will look at a half a dozen, go down and look at half a dozen, and if they're all 4 to 5 stars, sold. Even if there's a 1-star review at the top, which there seems to always be, I will continue down, and then you get the 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. Okay, this first guy is an obsessive liar. Oh, Suki wants to go outside. There she is. She's been inside. She got to go out and pee at 4:30. I guess it's time, isn't it? Yes. All right. When I had my coffee this morning at 4:45, sitting in the chair there in the dark, very quiet out here, I could hear tiny silent sounds dripping, I think, off the roof of the garage. So it hadn't cooled off enough overnight to refreeze everything. Now I'm thinking about having brush burns like that little pile. Put a few more bits of fuel on it, like this little pile here on the side. These are all wind blown off the birches here. And I've got the piles of debris brush that I have accumulated from the ATV loop trail. And one of the concerns is I don't want to have big fires, because most of the piles are, well, like, that's not a pile, but it needs to be burned nonetheless. They're in a confined area where I don't want to heat injure or heat destroy surrounding trees. The point I'm making is I've got a number of brush piles around. They're small. Get those on fire. Burn 2 or 3 of them at a time. All these. Wouldn't it be fun to light that on fire? Actually, that big pile of logs, There have been several times that we come out at night for Suki's evening business, and she will walk up to here in the dark. Well, we got the yard light on, and she will stop here and stare off at that pile. And I've wanted to go down and around that thing and look for animal tracks. I get the idea there's something living in there, a lair. Thing is, I have to get down there and around the back. I don't want to go now, it's too deep to do that. I want to go back and look for signs of an animal living in there. That would, I'm sure there's a nice hollow. Things are loosening up. Life is coming alive again. Oh yeah, including going back to the burn piles. I could get everything down there from the first fire Chuck and I had a few weeks ago, rebuild and set that alight. The problem we were having back then was all this stuff on the perimeter was frozen in. Couldn't get it loose to throw on there. And any of these burn piles I want to set ablaze, like this one for instance, I don't want to set that ablaze, although that's a popple tree. No, I like it. I want it to leaf out for some shade. But all of that, or some of that, I could haul down onto there. So my thinking is, we'll wait until the snow level drops, begins to melt off, so we're down to an inch or two for safety, protection against the fire spreading out into the bog. I'm going to do that. I'll bring you along when I do. God, there's a lot of trashy, crappy oh, deja vu. Trip, stumble, sprain. It's going to be interesting to see what all of these stubs do. They will leaf out. So much fun stuff to do, like these. Begin defining the terraceness of this Appaloosa terrace. You can see a 2x6 on top of that stump. That's been there since, God almighty, since we first began working out here. What a joy to be outside and have it be warm. It truly is. You're raring to go, aren't you? Farcical it was that he inferred that. Now I'm using a word, infer, that was very fun to learn a few years ago, the difference between infer and imply. Imply is something I provide that's outgoing from me. I'm implying something. And you, on the other hand, on the receiving end, are inferring that what I'm saying, or the communication you're receiving, you're inferring a conclusion based on that information somebody else implied. That was a real eye-opener. Oh, They are not synonyms of each other. They do have a totally different meaning. You heard it here, folks. Stay tuned, subscribe, like. I sure love that girl. What's my point? Where was I going? I got these thoughts going on. I forget sometimes. I haven't put them forth. They just continue in my head. Yeah. I've been watching a YouTube channel, Bald and Bankrupt. By now you'll know about it because I'm going to be posting it as the current POV for this episode 69 that I'm working on now. Fantastic travels that this guy makes. I don't know anything about him. I don't know if anybody knows anything about him, but he's a very fun, gregarious man. Early 40s from London or England. And he's traveling on foot or by taxi or by rental car or a rental scooter or by train throughout some of the world's more or less visited. He's on the ground in India and that region. And he very rarely knows the language. A few of his episodes are from Chernobyl, Balkans, Caucasus. And he walks and he greets people. He's always got a smile on his face. Always. And if it's not on his face, it's in his voice. He's just a very enjoyable man who disarms everybody. Oh. I've learned a lot about the world and how so much of the world out there is living in absolute poverty. And we think we don't have enough. Compared to how a large percentage of the world is living, we are rich beyond. And YouTube, when you subscribe to somebody, some channel, you're watching one of their episodes, and then the next episode up is one of theirs. So you don't have to be picking each episode that you want to watch. YouTube gives it to you automatically because you're subscribed. But it doesn't do it chronologically. It just seems to do it at random. So yesterday I was watching, he was in Mauritania, Northwest Africa. Took a 15-hour train ride beginning 10 o'clock at night through the desert. That's all Mauritania is desert, Sahara. And he's got a female companion, Alina. Alina. I think she's Russian or, from that area. Beautiful young lady. Oh my gosh. And I don't know how he met her. How did she get connected with him? Yeah, all right. Yeah, and the last episode I watched, they're in Cuba. Alina and Ben, his name is Ben, but you don't hear that very often. He refers to him as bald. And he is bald. He shaves his head, has a beard. So we went from Mauritania with Alina and bald, and then suddenly they're in Cuba. And the old cars, early 50s Buick here and there. Jesus Christ. Crikey. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. See you next time.